If we didn't realize that a lot of Black people enjoyed being slaves back when.
Let's talk about music history. So, what is the oldest form of music that is unique to the United States? Now, to be clear, I'm not asking for music that is unique to the Americas, because that would be Native Americans and other indigenous groups. I'm talking about specifically the United States. And maybe you got a good guess on that. By the way, this is my first time using the inverted filter, so please forgive me. Okay, if you said blues or jazz, you are wrong, because those developed post-Civil War and in the 20th century. The oldest form of music that is unique to the United States is the minstrel show. And this was started because a washed-up actor saw an enslaved black person singing outside a theater he was working at and got the song out of him. And then he went backstage, painted his face black, went on stage, performed, and it was a huge hit, and the whole thing just caught like wildfire. And minstrel shows would also become not just the earliest form of music unique to the United States, but also the birth of American popular culture. Because it was also kind of like a variety show. People do sketches and tell jokes. And these minstrel shows were responsible for promoting a lot of the negative stereotypes about black people we have today, such as hypersexuality, ignorance, laziness, and enjoying slavery. So, what this person is doing here is nothing more than just promoting minstrel show propaganda. If you'd like a good discussion on this topic, I do highly recommend the essay on music from the 1619 Project, and I also got information out of my college-level music history textbook. Once again, as I've just said, this is nothing more than minstrel show propaganda. Is musical theater the grandchild of minstrel shows? That is a great question. Let's talk about it. For context, this was left on my video where I was explaining how minstrel shows were essentially the earliest form of music unique to the United States and how they invented a lot of stereotypes about black people. Now, to answer the question, not really. So if we're thinking of musical theater as just theater where people sing and dance, no, not at all. That's been happening since civilization. In fact, the earliest piece of music that is still readable to us comes from the Euripides play Orestes. Now, in terms of our modern musical genre, that developed actually over in Europe, places like England and France, being influenced from operettas, comic operas, and vaudevilles. And then it was imported over to the US. So Gilbert and Sullivan had a lot more to do with the development of the musical rather than T.D. Rice. It's a good question, though, so I hope that answers it.